So tonight, the main purpose of the meeting is to reorganize.
Hold on, someone just joined. 254-9200. Can you recognize who you are?
Say who you are. Sandra?
Your name. Say your name.
Lee Nichols.
There he is.
Lee is here. Okay. Sandra, I heard you go. Did you want to speak?
I did. As tonight is for reorganization, what I'd like to do is nominate Jeanette Stewart for chairman of the Budget Committee.
Okay, motion has been made by Sandra Coleman to nominate Jeanette Stewart for chairman of the Budget Committee. Is there a second?
Sure, I'll second that. David.
I can't hear. Is there a second?
Yes, David.
David Rule. Okay, seconded by David Rule. All those in favor, and I'm going to have to say your name because I can't see you. David Rule?
Yes.
Eli Badger?
Yes.
Sandra Coleman?
Yes.
Lee Nichols?
No.
Sherry Downing?
No.
Kathy Beard?
No.
Jeanette Stewart, yes. Motion carries. I'll make the motion to nominate David Rule for vice chairman. Is there a second?
Lee Nichols, I'll second it.
That was
Did you second
kind of
it?
like, whoa.
Someone else did.
Can I make a comment?
Someone else.
Sandra, you seconded it? Who seconded it? Charlie, who seconded the motion for vice chairman?
I haven't heard it.
Lee Nichols. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Well, that.
Okay, motion has been made.
I'm sorry, but I have a question before we go any further. That was
What's
kind
the
of
question?
railroad there.
Motion is made as on the floor.
Conference, and I'm not liking it, but that was just railroaded with Sandra bumping right in and making that motion. I'm sorry.
Sandra went, I heard her make a noise and I knew she wanted to speak, so that's why I called on her. Now, right now we have a motion on the floor for vice chairman, Eli Badger. Are you in favor or not in favor?
Eli Badger says yes.
Sandra Coleman?
Yes.
Lee Nichols is seconded,
Yes.
so Lee? Yes. David Rule?
Yes.
Sherry Downing? I didn't hear
Abstain.
what Sherry said.
Abstain.
Abstain. Kathy Beard?
Like, the whole thing is like a railroad. I'm sorry.
Kathy Beard?
Some type of discussion before it all gets shoved in everyone's
What did
face.
Kathy Beard say?
I didn't say
Kathy,
anything.
what did you say?
Yes.
Are you saying yes, no, or abstaining?
Yes.
Jeanette Stewart, yes, motion carries.
Oh, railroaded once again.
Okay, that's mainly what we were going to bring up tonight. Does anybody have any questions for Charlie?
I did look at the budget. I was wondering about the default budget, which is, I understand, what was voted in. And
Yeah.
looking at the Heritage Commission and...
The 4,900, was it, David?
No, the Heritage Commission was... and the Conservation Commission, they're on the bottom of page 11 and the top of page 12. And
Okay.
the numbers there are $1 each, which is what the selectmen proposed for 2020, but the actual budget for 2019 was $500 in each of those cases. So how is that happening?
On what page is he on?
Bottom of page 11 is the Heritage Commission, the very last item. And the top of page 16, the very first item, Conservation Commission.
Charlie, can you answer that for David?
Yep. You can't just carry, if they're not being expended, you can't just carry them over to the default budget.
Well, isn't it supposed to be the same budget as last year? Unless No.
Plus or minus expenses. You don't just carry over the same budget. Unless there's
Really?
unless there's contract stipulations.
My understanding was always it was the same appropriation as last year, with some corrections. But
that's correct, David.
No.
Yeah, I think, Charlie, you should look into that because I think David's correct on that one.
No, I made reductions in other lines where department heads, if they didn't use the number, we reduced it. It's per the statute.
I guess you'll have to show me the statute because it's not
Okay.
way I understand.
I'll show it to you. But
Charlie, can you email that to us?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Ridiculous.
How can we do this with a chair that can't see us? She's on the phone, right?
I didn't hear what Sherry said.
Well, I've my hand
She has her hand up.
for a while. I'm wondering how we can do these meetings with you on the phone when you can't see. When we have a question, we raise our hand or whatever, like the selectmen's meetings.
Yeah.
We're just going to have to do the best that we can.
Well, I'm pretty sure you probably have a computer, but on my page 16, I have all zeros. So I'm trying to figure out what David, did you say 16 or 18? Because my pages don't match.
Sherry, on
one and sewer on the other.
Sherry, I have a question to ask you. Does yours say June 1st at the top?
Charlie brought me these today, so I'm assuming they're the proper.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you again.
Sherry, he said Heritage and Conservation Commission.
See, I see the heritage on 11, but I don't see the conservation.
that's on the next page on 12.
On 12.
Okay. You said 16.
It's the very first thing on the next page.
Okay.
Yep.
I see that
It's kind
now.
of hard.
So where did the Heritage Commission monies go? Where do we spend that $49,000 or $4,900 on?
No, that's a percentage.
Well,
Yeah, that's not money.
They only spent $50 so far this year.
you only had $1.
Well, that's why they're talking. I'm not sure.
Well, in this case, it's a bottom line budget. So, sorry.
Yeah,
They can move it anywhere they want, David.
I was
No, I
assuming.
disagree. David, I agree with you. We need to get this straightened out.
Yeah. I think the Heritage Commission has been assuming we had at least the 500 because that's what we had last year. So
Right.
it's somewhat surprising to see this budget with $1 there. So I don't know.
I'd have to look at it more carefully myself.
I'd have to check what we did when we had the meeting before. I'd have to go back and check all my paperwork and the notes.
Yeah. Well, we increased it as a budget committee. Of course, that failed to pass, but
Right.
I assumed all along that both the Heritage Commission and the Conservation Commission would have the $500. So I don't know from last year. So
You
I guess
can't
has to be
remove
explained. Yeah.
money like that.
I thought I saw somewhere on here the Heritage Commission, and it was more than that, but I could be wrong.
Jeanette, Sherry has a question.
Yeah, on page 11,
Yeah.
down the bottom where it says Heritage Commission minus 4,900, what is that?
No, it's the percentage. It's the $49 in the red. So
right,
it's
but
only
then it says
$1.
beside the $49, David, it says 4,900.
Right, because we only have $1. So
It's overspent by $490,000 percent.
It's percentage.
4,900%.
Yeah, it's
What
only
did they overspend it on?
I'm going to guess we have dues, I think, to the New Hampshire Preservation Alliance, but I'm not sure
Yes.
what that was. I think that was it.
Okay, Charlie, are you going to check into that?
Yes.
Okay, I can just barely hear people.
Well, maybe you should be on a computer. So I have a question.
Okay, Sherry?
Printing lines. In most departments, they're down in the red. The town
Sherry,
office,
can you just tell me what page, please?
the town office, page 1, they're
Okay,
negative 20%, and other departments, their printing is also very low. All departments' equipment maintenance line is below 35%. Most of them are at 31%. DPW's overtime is already at 35.21. Not sure why. We had a COVID in March and town was kind of shut down. So, and everybody in everybody's departments for electric, water, and sewer are below 50. Sewer and electrics are all at 35 or below, or 37 below. So people ought to look at that also. Those are on numerous pages, but that is every department.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want me to respond to that?
I can't hear. What did you say, Charlie?
You want me to respond?
Yes, please.
Well, the printing line for the town under executive, that's the town report. And if you remember, I said, look, if it goes over, I will figure it out. Some of these expenses, perhaps like the DPW overtime, are front loaded, meaning that it's spent in January, February, and March, but that doesn't mean necessarily we're going to have overtime at the rest of the year, right?
Yeah, but now you get another January, February, March.
No, the budget.
I mean, I don't understand. We didn't really have that harsh a winter. Why are we giving them all this overtime? Or is it being sucked up from employees jumping to the fire department to make overtime after they've had their 40 hours in the DPW? Like last year, we had that incident.
But Steve has cut back on that after Steve realized that he would not allow it anymore.
Well, I'm just saying, then why is the line depleted so much?
And as for the electric and water, the utility lines, they just weren't properly funded.
Well, okay, so, and I understand that, whatever, but once again, it's a bottom line budget and you have money in other lines. I just wanted to bring that to people's attention. Because in your money for it,
Right.
you're just depleting that line.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, thank you, Chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah. And some lines.
I have a couple questions, Ray.
You'll see that some lines are spent in the first quarter of the year more heavily than they are the last
Absolutely.
quarter. So really, if you go to page 12, it says the general operating budget has 60% left.
Well,
it's about 5%. I would say about 5%.
So March, April, May, June, but we're only 4 months into the budget.
That's right. Yeah. No.
So you've almost
5 months. 5 months.
No. We voted in March.
Okay, let's not all talk at once.
So March, April, May, June, 1st of June, we're on June 3rd. You guys have had 3 months to spend over
40% of your budget already.
No, the budget started in January.
So January, February, March, April.
January, February, March, April, May. It's 5 months gone.
Still, that's
Going
not
into the 6 months.
here, and you spend over your budget. Whatever.
Lee,
When did the budget get voted on?
Did I give you the wrong one?
So I don't know how it can get affected
I gave
in
it the wrong
January if we voted on March.
The fiscal year starts January 1st.
Yep.
Correct.
That's right. Because I wrote on the back of yours.
Go ahead, Lee. Lee Nichols.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead. You had questions, Lee. Go ahead.
Yeah, on page 3, on personnel and administration, it's Medicare,
Okay.
10,225, 10,225.
10,225. Yeah, I see that.
Okay. Budgeted is 0. Why is there something charged against that line? You're not supposed to charge anything with a zero balance, with a 0.
Yep. I'll look into it.
Also, on page 6, the fire department.
Hold on just a minute, Lee. Page 6.
Yeah, I gotta get to that myself.
Okay, go ahead.
Line number, where is it? Line number 2392. I can't talk.
Mutual
I
aid.
don't see a 392.
Mutual aid, fourth from the bottom.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I have the wrong page?
You said 2392.
Yeah, 2392. Mutual aid dues. It's already in a deficit. Is that going to potentially double?
No. Steve is pretty close with his budget.
So he's less than 50.
That should be paid.
Well, the only reason I'm asking is this a front end load
Yes.
dues, or do they charge so much a month?
No, it should be paid.
No. I'm pretty sure it's a front end and they just do.
Let's not all talk at once. Isn't there a certain amount? I mean, shouldn't that work out? Didn't Steve get the exact amount that the dues are?
And
Charlie?
I'd have to follow up with him.
Yeah, I think he did. That's I don't know why that didn't come out right, but I think he did. I think he got them.
And the other part, the other one that goes along with that is your transfer and recycling on page 840, 560.
Page what, please? Page 8?
Page 8.
Yeah.
Number 40, 560. Is that one going to double? Because that is also a dues.
Oh, solid waste district dues, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Page 8. Okay.
Online budget.
And then also on the with the electric, I don't see any line item on the electric budget for street lighting, yet you have it in the town budget, but nothing's been charged. We went through this last year and nothing's been charged to it at this point. We're 5 months in and it's still saying 42,000.
It's a dummy line. It always has been.
Because that one's supposed to be a wash, right?
Yep.
And they don't care. They don't keep track of it. It's a dummy wash.
It should be the same. It should be the same for the electric as it is for the town.
What it is the electric used to bill, and then the town would put in the same amount but it'd be a wash. So if it was a charge of $100, then town would put in $100 into the budget. This year, we don't see it in the new budget for the electric, but it's still in the town budget. So by that still being in the town budget, that gives you a free load for $42,000 to spend without going over your budget.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Excuse me. No, we don't just get a free load. We wash it on the revenue side, where there's not a tax impact.
Correct, but there's nothing on the electric budget that shows anything about street lighting like there used to be.
Well, there's not a tax impact on the electric side.
So, is electric just included in like power purchase and everything else? I mean, the lighting, is that just included in everything else?
No, what it is where you receive a bill, the electric department would cut a bill to the town office. Years ago, the electric department would cut a bill to the town office. The town office would cut a check back to the electric department. It was charged against the town's budget, and it was charged against a line item for street lighting for the electric department. Then Paul Branscombe didn't want to do that anymore, and they decided to just wash it out. Mm-hmm. That the town, the electric department would still show it, and the town would show it on the $42,000 street lighting. This budget for this year, it's a whole new budget with line items and everything else for the electric department, but there's nothing in there that says anything about street lighting except for parts, like, bulbs, et cetera, et cetera. But it's still $42,000 in the town budget.
Okay, are there any other questions?
I have one more.
Okay.
I don't see anything on the electric department about tree trimming. Where would that be charged, and what's that special programs?
I'd have to see what that one's under.
What are you looking for, honey? Walk on. Yeah. You can go upstairs if you want. What?
Somebody having a private conversation? Where are we? I'd like to make a motion.
I'm sorry?
I'd like to make a motion. Are you done with your question? I don't know. I heard somebody saying somebody was going upstairs, and I didn't know.
Well, there's only one other thing is with the water, sewer, and the electric budgets, we also receive the revenues, but we have not received the revenues from the town.
There aren't any.
Okay.
I also had asked Charlie about the budget and expenditures for the water and sewer, but Charlie couldn't do them right then, right, Charlie? Didn't you say you didn't have the information?
No, I got the profit and loss for the.
Yeah, but people had asked about the budget and expenditures for the water and sewer.
Mm-hmm.
Jeanette, Sherry has a question.
No.
Sherry?
Are you all done with your water and sewer questions and everything? Did Lee get
I have a question.
David has a question.
Looking on page 3 at the top, legal expenses, that's, we already spent like 70%. So where do we stand on those things? Is that going to be another bad year for legal?
Probably. Yep.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, we have that capital reserve that they can use.
Yep. Yep. You're right, Jeanette. Yep. That unanticipated, expenditure.
Okay.
Well, the voters voted it through. I mean, so.
Absolutely.
Okay, Sherry?
I'd like to make a motion to have 2-hour meetings tops. Unless it's due to the end of the budget season and there calls for more time.
Now, what we had voted on before was an hour and a half most of the
I
time.
don't know, you guys reconvened without me last year. I was late 8 minutes, so I don't know what to tell you.
That isn't true. We didn't do that.
Yeah,
But all
you did.
right, she's got a motion. Does anybody want to second it?
I second it.
I'll second it.
Okay, seconded by Kathy Beard. David?
Oh, yeah, in favor, sure.
Eli?
Eli Badger is in favor.
Lee?
Lee's in favor.
Kathy?
In favor.
Sherry?
In favor.
I don't know. Is Sandra still on?
No.
I know her phone was getting low, she said, when I talked to her before, so.
No.
All righty, I'll say yes, it's fine with me. Okay, motion carries. Is there anything else?
Yes, I'd like to
Charlie,
make
are you
another
keeping an
motion.
eye on the, just a second, Charlie, are you keeping an eye on the time?
Yes, ma'am.
We have to be out of here by 6:15. Okay, Sherry, go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion that any member of the budget committee can call a meeting.
What?
That isn't the way,
It's an it's in your budget rule book. I looked it up today. It's in this book. If you want to look it up, but I would like to make a motion that any member can call a meeting.
well, I'm not going to take that motion tonight because when I looked it up, it said only the chairman can call a meeting.
Well, I don't know where you looked, but I looked on the New Hampshire Municipal today on the web.
I looked on the RSA. I can't remember what the RSA was. So we're going to have to save that for the next meeting because we need the RSA to see what it says before we can make a motion and vote on it.
All right, well, hang on 1 second and I'll give that to you.
Well, I have it too. I just have to, I don't have it with me right now.
I do. Hang on 1 second.
It's actually, I remember it's RSA 32.
Else and I'll get back to you.
It's RSA 32. I know that.
No, it's not.
Well,
Because I remember we had looked it up before because Sandra looked it up for me and it said only the chairman can call a meeting.
You're wrong, but I looked it up today on the New Hampshire website.
Okay, well, I want to get the paperwork before we vote on it.
could I
But we can vote on it at the next meeting.
Could I make a suggestion?
David, go ahead.
If both of you could send to the rest of us whatever you find, then we could all see what you're looking at.
Go on the
Yeah, we can do that.
municipal site.
We can do that, David.
Yeah, just give us a reference and email it to us, and we can all look at it.
Okay. All righty. We can do that. Are there any other questions? I know we have to leave this open for the planning board because they're going to be having that meeting pretty soon. Okay, there being no other business, I'm going to adjourn the meeting at 6:00 p.m. And thank you, and Charlie, thank you for hosting it.
Sure.
RSA 37:657.
What? 27:657?
37:6V.
6Z?
V as in Victor.
V. 27.6V. Okay.
No, it's 37, not 27.
No, it's
37.
not. No. It's not 37. 37 is the town manager RSA. It can't be.
30, wait a minute. That's right. All right, 32:5 V1 or whatever, 6.
V1.
42 budget meeting. Conduct the budget
Okay. 32.5. Huh. 32.5. You said V1?
I think so.
I'm not seeing that.
Okay. Try 32:14.
Oh.
Because it says it's controlled by however the budget committee votes on it. Just swap this.
That's the adoption of the ordinance?
Yes. It's under the Municipal Budget Committee Rules and Responsibilities.
Rule.
What is the official budget committee? And it's right there on that first page.
32.14?
13, yep, official budget committee, non-budget official members, blah, blah. Or the voters did adopt a budget committee, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it talks about how you adopt the budget law, but I don't see anything here about who calls meetings.
Yeah.
Well, if you could look it up and email us all, whatever you and Jeanette find, and we could, look it up for ourselves.
We'll go on the New Hampshire municipal thing. It's right on the page. All I did was mention budget committee rules and responsibilities.
Okay.
It's on the first page.
So it's in the basic law of budgeting book, you mean?
Well, I did it on the computer and just looked up NH. What I typed in was budget committee rules and responsibilities. And that's what I came up with. It's on the first page. And if we vote on something, then that's the way the committee is constructed. And it says anybody can call a meeting if the committee votes on it. And I don't see what the objection would be.
I mean, well, I would think a majority.
Yeah, I'd recommend just send us an email, Sherry, and we'll look into it.
Right.
Okay, thanks. Yep, all good.
Okay. All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Nice brandy snifter again. Awesome.
Thank you.
See ya. And he sniffed